boom, boom, boom. What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Smith machine. So I did a leg workout. My brother and I, we're taking time off of squats, working on our mobility, our flexibility, and all that. And we're doing a lot of squats holding a dumbbell in front of us, right? A lot of squats doing that, just working on our range of motion and hip flexibility. Okay, that's what we're doing here. Now, goblet squats is what they're called, goblet squats. Okay, now here's the deal. So I posted a picture on Instagram of me squatting deep in the hole with a Smith machine. And then, of course, the functional strength Nazis come in and say, oh, I can't believe you're doing Smith machines, fixed plane of motion, you're going to get injured and snapped up. I actually had lunch today with one of the foremost athletic trainers and rehab guys in the Illinois state. The guy's amazing. So we had lunch today, and I actually, in between talking about what we were talking about, I brought this up, and we actually got to discussing. Now, that is actually factually correct. In that if you use the Smith machine as your sole exercise for legs, yes, you will reduce functionality because you're training in a single plane. What these people fail to realize when they critique using the Smith machine is it's not my only form of leg training. Okay, I started out my dynamic warm-ups, right? And then I moved on to leg extensions, which that's a fixed plane, right? And then I did the Smith machine squats, but what they don't realize is 2 to 3 times a day, I'm also doing goblet squats to work on my flexibility. I'm doing static squats and wall squats to work on my flexibility some more. I also did some leg press, which is a different plane. Did some hack squats, whole different thing. Okay, did jump squats on the machine, which is completely different. Another reason people hate me. And what I'm getting at is what we tend to overthink. Bodybuilding. We tend to overthink hypertrophy. Now the bottom line is that we're training different angles. What I want to do as a bodybuilder, not a power lifter, and even power lifters utilize things like rack lockouts, which are not full range of motion, which those Nazis, the range of motion Nazis will come into play. So we're utilizing different things to do what? To stimulate muscle. How do you stimulate muscle growth? Progressively overload muscle. You could do that via machine. You could do that via free weight. I'd even argue that the Smith machine is better for muscle growth because you're putting more pressure on the muscle you want to target, which is your quadricep, rather than the squat, which is working all those accessory muscles. Now, I am not anti-squat. I've squatted till I've dropped. In fact, my old message board handle before I started Scivation was the Squat Master. I'm a huge fan of squatting. I'm a huge fan of peeing while squatting. I'm a huge fan of squatting in a house you don't own that's vacant for free. I'm a fan of all types of squats. Front squats, goblet squats, sissy squats, squat humping. I'm a huge fan of squatting. Okay, but right now in my phase of training, Dorian didn't squat. Dorian built some damn good legs. Dorian's still training. A lot of guys his age who trained hardcore like him aren't training. I plan to be training well into my, dead. Well, obviously I won't train when I'm dead, but up till the day I die, I plan to be training. And how I'm going to do that is by training smart. And right now, I took back squats out. I wanted to see how I do with front squats. I want to see what kind of depth I could get in the Smith machine for stability, and I did it. Now, I believe that Smith machine is a great tool for any bodybuilder and even other functional strength athletes. You could do one-arm rows in the Smith machine, making it heavier, having a more unstable, uneven, and also a longer way to row. It also allows you to go a bit heavier if your gym only goes up to dumbbells of a certain weight. If y'all train at Planet Fitness, they got Smith machines. Just kidding. Fuck Planet Fitness. Have to say that every time. So, I mean, the thing is that you need to look at what you're training and how you're training. I'm a bodybuilder. I'm not pretending to be a power lifter. If I was a power lifter, would I be wearing a fucking pink hat? No, I wouldn't. So what you need to do is look at what you're training for. I want to overload muscle. How am I going to do that? I'm going to put a fixed plane of motion. I'm going to target the shit out of that muscle. And that's what I did. But not saying that squats aren't good. For me right now, squats are not my focus because I'm working more on improving my mobility. And right now, I am not ready for squats. I am not done with my rehab. I have about another 60 days before I am confident that I'll be ready to squat deep in the hole, going up in weight, and my hip flexibility will support it, as well as my knee flexibility. My joints in my knees, they have no cartilage. I've had knee surgeries. That's another limiting factor, and hopefully throughout this stretching that I'm doing, best way to improve your squat is to squat. And that's what I'm doing, but I am not doing barbell squats right now because I'm just not ready for it. But to say that the Smith machine is bad for everyone, that's a very erroneous statement. I believe in the Smith machine. I believe it can benefit a lot of people, but I also believe you beginners get into the big three, the deadlift, the bench, and the squat. Build your base up, and then you can move on to more isolation movements like the intermediate and advanced lifters like myself and my brother, who at this point, we're just trying to beat the shit out of that given muscle. I'm Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com, because squat humping, that's not a game.